think would be happy to hear you say that women do better with carbs, right? Or can. But I think women generally feel like, okay, if I cut carbs out completely, that's what's going to make the biggest impact, right? But the truth is they feel shitty when they don't eat enough carbs, right? But they're like, but I'm losing weight.
Right.
But then again, it's not sustainable.
Right. So here's the thing. I think where women go wrong is
Where do women
it's
go
a slippery
wrong,
slope.
Yeah.
It's how much time do you got?
Careful how you start that sentence.
I better change I better change what I was going to say.
Where women go wrong with dieting.
Where women go wrong with dieting and dieting alone is, I think that a lot of times what they do is they'll get in their mind that they're going to go low carb, but they don't realize that if you go low carb, you got to go higher fat. And so they go low carb and low fat and they feel like crap. Now, of course, you're going to lose weight because you're eating nothing, you know, but one of the biggest things is if somebody wants to try a lower carb diet, you have to increase your fat. So again, in those first 1 to 2 weeks, I always have people eat like a ton of fat. And I'll tell them like, look, you might gain some weight this week or next week, but don't sweat it. Like we're in this for the long run, right? So like you need to eat more grass-fed beef, more wild-caught fish, more like eggs or duck eggs or, you know, something that has protein and fat together. Bring in some avocado. You can bring in some nuts and seeds, things like that. But, you know, cook your vegetables in coconut oil or, you know, ghee if you're okay with dairy, things like that. And you have to bring in more fat because if you're not bringing carbs for fuel, your body's looking for fuel. And if it's not in sugar form, it eventually goes to look for fat. And so you need to build up your fat stores. And then once your body gets in that fat burning mode, there's no sugar to burn. And so then it starts burning fat long term.
Right.
And fat is actually like a better, more sustainable long-term fuel for the average person, not an athlete or maybe not somebody who's training a ton in like distance running or not even distance running. There's more glycolytic type training. So like intense sport type training, you're going to need some carbohydrates.
High heart rate, like endurance.
Yeah, but I mean like some, you know, for example, like some people even who like are more like a marathon runner or like really long and slow, like I say slow, like relative, right? But some people who are training for something longer and slower cardio, they can actually do pretty well once they get fat adapted. But they have to eat a lot of fat. And that's where people get wrong. So women are scared to eat fat, they're scared to eat carbs, you're not eating enough, and they're just super confused.
What do we eat?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where like, you know, moving to real food, make your progress, up your fat, slowly lower your carbs, and then long term, somebody like that might want to look at your macros, like if you're not getting results. But I would say this, like give it 3 to 4 weeks eating real food, see what happens. If you don't lose weight or you don't get to where you want to get, then it might be a good time to count your macros and try to get dialed in. Also, if you had functional medicine lab testing in the beginning, you would know if your hormones are out of whack. If your hormones are completely out of whack, it's going to be really hard to lose weight or get lean no matter what you do.